Did you know that Chainsaw Man is set in 1997? So guys, how are you? I hope you're well. Today I bring you 66 facts you probably didn't know about Chainsaw Man, and for those who don't know me, I'm the Monio, the interdimensional demon who talks about Chainsaw Man the most on YouTube, and you're on my channel. And before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe because this content takes a lot of work. And yes, many people doubt this information, but despite having a current and even modern appearance at times, the story of Chainsaw Man takes place in 1997, but with some historical events different from our world. The author of Chainsaw Man, Tatsuki Fujimoto, has stated that he loves chainsaws, to the point that he simply needed to create a story focused on them. Besides Chainsaw Man, Fujimoto has made many other manga, such as Fire Punch, for example. The main inspiration for the character Reese came from the movie Jinro, The Wolf Brigade, and the author has stated that she is the character he likes to draw the most. As a big fan of chainsaws, Fujimoto has stated that he drew great inspiration from the movie The Texas Chainsaw Massacre to create his manga. The character Aki Hayakawa only smiles 5 times throughout his entire time in the manga, showing that he is a very sad person. The fight between Shuichi and Yoshida had all its choreography inspired by the final fight sequence of the movie The Raid 2. In the first character popularity poll held in Japan, Power came in first place, followed by Makima, Aki, Reese, and Denji respectively. In the same poll, to the surprise of many, Kobeni's car came in 7th place, despite not being a real character. The character Bucky was inspired by a real chicken named Mike, who lived for 18 months without a head. The devils in Chainsaw Man get stronger the more people fear them, meaning that devils with more impactful names, referring to common fears, are much more powerful, like the Darkness Devil, for example. The inspiration for Power's personality came from 2 other characters, Eric Cartman from South Park and Walter Sobchak from The Big Lebowski. Denji appears in his Chainsaw Man form as an Easter egg among the heroes in Chapter 259 of My Hero Academia. The author has stated that he doesn't consider himself good at drawing action scenes, but that he was very proud of the Denji vs. Reese fight. The song Little Dark Age became very popular after many fans started making edits and montages using it, to the point that many people thought it was actually the official theme song of Chainsaw Man, but as of this recording, the song does not appear on the anime's soundtrack. In the world of Chainsaw Man, the Soviet Union never ended. In our world, it ended in 1991. Makima was inspired by a story the author himself created when he was in high school. In that story, Makima was a character who symbolized domination and control. The way hell is developed and portrayed in Chainsaw Man is to give the impression of something completely incomprehensible to humans. There are no smartphones in the world of Chainsaw Man. The devices we see are just cordless phones. The reason the story takes place in 1997 and there are no smartphones is that the author felt the narrative would be more interesting if the characters didn't have so many easy means of long-distance communication. The author has stated that he took great care to ensure that the Gun Devil did not resemble one of the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, the Dragon Cannon. Hybrids are literally immortal. To this day, it has not been possible to kill a hybrid in Chainsaw Man. Whenever they suffer fatal damage, they come back to life after a few moments by pulling their trigger. The final battle of Chainsaw Man was inspired by the film Kazumonogatari 3, specifically the fight between Shinobu and Araragi. The studio Mappa, which produces the Chainsaw Man anime, had information leaked stating that 50% of the animation would be done in CGI, but according to the source, it's very well made CGI, almost imperceptible. When asked what he wanted to say to fans outside of Japan, Fujimoto replied, "Put Chainsaw Man in the Avengers." The author said in an interview that he created Kobeni's dance to lighten the mood after a long story. In 2020, Chainsaw Man was the manga with the most recorded deaths. The act of drinking blood can both improve a demon's regeneration and make it stronger. All the damage inflicted on Makima is returned to the Japanese population in the form of diseases or accidents, so in a way she is almost immortal. Demons don't actually die in Chainsaw Man. If a demon is killed in the human world, it goes to hell. If it's killed in hell, it returns to the human world without memories of past lives. There is only one being capable of erasing the existence of demons and preventing them from being reborn, but I won't say who it is to avoid spoilers. The author avoids including religious references in the manga, so God and some other concepts were deliberately excluded, which is why the demons have generic names and not the names of real demons. For Fujimoto, it's very difficult to draw cute little girls, and he always struggles to draw his female characters, especially Reese, who is his favorite character. In the fight between Makima and Denji, Makima mentions 4 horsemen, who are the most powerful demons in the work, and they all want the Chainsaw Man's heart. Fujimoto has an imaginary sister and has tweeted as if he were her. The editors had a meeting with the author and said that there was a scene where Makima was cooked, and that it was too graphic to be published in Shonen Jump. Fujimoto replied that it was okay if it couldn't be included, but he would draw it himself and post it on Twitter, or maybe on his sister's account. Once, the author asked a fellow manga artist which character they would like to survive. When he collected the answers, Fujimoto did the exact opposite. Fujimoto doesn't show his face, and we don't know if he's a man or a woman. This may seem strange, but in Japan it's common for female authors to use male pseudonyms. People born in April, July, and October are not affected by the Gun Devil's ability. This makes sense in Japanese, as combining the words forms the phrase "those who will not perish by weapons." When someone makes a contract with a demon, the demon can ask for anything in exchange for their powers. It all depends on both parties agreeing to the conditions. The name Makima is a reference to the word Makita, which is a large Japanese manufacturer of chainsaws. The protagonist can ingest anything and absorb 100% of the nutrients without wasting anything. This is an allusion to the fact that he was very hungry for a long time. The author created a promotional drawing of what Captain America would look like if he existed in the Chainsaw Man universe, and he would be a demon. There was confusion about Power's hair color, as some fan art became very popular, and in them she appeared with pink hair. For many, it was a surprise to discover from the anime that she is actually blonde. Devil in Your Heart was made by the band Sim, the same band that made The Rumbling, the opening theme for Attack on Titan. In one of the first cover arts that Shonen Jump published with Chainsaw Man, there is already a big spoiler of the manga's ending, because the reflection in the chainsaw shows who the main villain that Denji would face would be. The list of victims of the Gun Devil contains several Easter eggs, including the name of Hajime Isayama, the author of Attack on Titan. The demon Pachita was inspired by a miniature chainsaw, and is practically the same tool. The character Kishibe was inspired by the actor Mads Mikkelsen, and the resemblance between the two is visible. Makima has 7 dogs. This is a reference to the number of hybrids she controls. The battle between Denji and Beam against Reese and Typhoon is a tribute to the movie Sharknado, and the fight has several references to the film. The fish demon defeated by Aki and Imino is a reference to the walking fish from Gyo, the horror manga by Junji Ito. The best-selling licensed Chainsaw Man product in the world is the Pachita plush toys. To create most of the demons in Chainsaw Man, the author was inspired by tarot cards and black magic books. Although it's not shown much, Aki Hayakawa is in love with Makima, although even he doesn't know how it started. In the world of Chainsaw Man, thanks to the existence of demons, nobody remembers what happened during World War II. Possessed characters have visible demonic characteristics on their faces, unlike hybrids like Denji, who always have a normal human appearance. Weapons are generally given to humans by demons who have the corresponding names, but humans have the full capacity to create their own weapons. If we remove the syllable ki from the name Makima, it forms Mama, which refers to how Denji seeks things related to motherhood since his mother's death. Although the author avoids religious references, in the chapters near the final battle we can see a painting with an illustration of Lucifer, the fallen angel, an allusion to what would happen in the story later. Makima was inspired by 2 other characters, Benton from the Eccentric Family and Haruko Haruhara from FLCL. Due to his difficult life and poverty, Denji never went to school. The author takes care to moderate the violence in some scenes of the manga, trying not to include too many details so as not to make the readers uncomfortable. Fujimoto has stated that he doesn't understand the popularity of some of his own characters. Unlike works that explain everything, the author has already stated that many things will remain unexplained, such as the astronauts in hell. If there were a demon of humanity and it were devoured by Chainsaw Man, all of humanity would cease to exist. And that's it, my people. Which piece of information surprised you the most? Leave it in the comments, and if you liked the video, subscribe to follow the next content. Until next time my people, demonic hugs.